On the phone with us, the former and now once again frontman of the band Creed. He is Scott Stapp. Scott, first of all, welcome to the show.
Hey, it's good to be here.
And we are very disappointed here in Raleigh that the date got canceled. I hate to put you on the spot like this, but what was the reason that show got canceled?
Raleigh got canceled?
That was my understanding, September 4th.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna have to fire some people now. I have no idea.
Because it would have been not really a homecoming show because you grew up in Florida, but you were born here in North Carolina, right?
I spent a lot of time in Cherokee as a child,
as a younger man.
Years with my grandfather on the reservation,
right?
But North Carolina's always got a warm spot in my heart. And I'm going to find out for you.
Oh, please do.
And I know your former bandmates, when they formed Alter Bridge, they actually played last summer in the Triangle here and just absolutely killed it. It was fantastic. So I know people are clamoring for it.
Oh, that's great, man. And I hope we can get there.
We are talking to Creed frontman Scott Stapp. Of course, the reunion tour is on now and a new album coming out before the end of the year. So in 2002, I think you really hit the nail on the head. That's when you guys became kind of a polarizing band. People either really loved Creed or really hated Creed. Looking back now, I know you say as a band you look back on it, but what does Scott Stapp of 2009 think of Scott Stapp of 2002?
Well, I don't. It wasn't Scott Stapp in 2002. It was this guy named Rick. It's my alter ego. And whenever I got together with this guy named Jack D,
right?
Rick was born. So we had to separate Jack from Scott, so Rick wouldn't come out anymore and be a terror.
Now, was Rick the one that I saw playing poker in 2004?
Yes, Rick was the one you saw on Spike TV doing kung fu.
Now, I'm sorry, but I'm sure this was probably a dark period for you looking back on it and saying, oh man, God, I can't believe that's all over YouTube and everything like that. Dee and I were just looking at that in the studio. It was very funny. It was very funny. I mean, can you look back at any of it and laugh, or you just say, God, I just feel like such a douche?
Well, you summed it up. Of course, I don't look back at that and call my boys and my daughter in and say, hey, look at this, your dad's so cool.
You know where you came from? My sack!
Yeah, exactly. I'm really proud of that comment. I remember watching that when I got home from shooting that, and that was kind of a time in my life where, it was after 2002, of course.
Right.
There were some years there of good times and healthy times, and then there was a couple slip ups, and it seems like when I slip up, I slip up. Because if you're going to do something, you got to do it right?
Yeah.
Rick really messes up.
And when I got home and my wife said we're going to watch this, I was like, I want to see it. She's like, you're going to sit right here.
Man.
I felt like I was Jagger for a minute.
Jagger's your son. Yeah.
Son, yeah. And I sat down and watched it, and it was painful.
We're joined by Scott Stapp, the former and now returning lead singer of the band Creed, reformed, rebirth. The new album's coming out. The tour is going around currently. But I want to talk a little bit about, you said that one of the big influences I've read before is Jim Morrison and the Doors. And you've even played with the Doors before. And Ray Manzarek of the Doors even says it's kind of eerie how much you remind him of Jim Morrison. Now, this is both vocally and now. Did it ever scare you that your life might be mimicking his as it goes along, and you were talking a little bit more about your battles with addiction?
You know what? That's a hell of a question, man. It's a good question.
Way to go, Salt.
Woohoo! Gold star!
Because I've thought about this a lot. And, when you're young and you have your music idols and the Doors were one of mine, and I think I latched on to Morrison because he was in Tallahassee and went to film school at Florida State, and that was something that I did. I actually had a friend that rented the home that he rented out there in Tallahassee, and I was just going through a time in my life where I was like, I thought he was cool, I didn't really know everything about him, all the details, except from some books that I'd read and an Oliver Stone movie.
Which may or may not have been entirely accurate.
Yeah, but
elevators are awesome.
Yeah. What was going on in my ignorant mind at the time, and in this view of with the outlook of the rock and roll world, is, you know, you're almost, you feel like you're supposed to be that way. Like, hey, you know, this is what, you know, the guys did before me, and, you know, I guess I'm supposed to, you know, just live this reckless life of excess and all this other stuff, and you know, the bottom line is every one of those guys and ladies die.
Right. He is Scott Stapp of Creed. The new album Full Circle will be in stores before the end of the year, and Scott, you'll get right on it and tell us why the Raleigh and Charlotte shows were canceled, huh?
You know what? As soon as I find out, I'm going to let you know.
Please do.
He's Scott Stapp. Scott, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, man, thanks for your time, and hey, we're going to get there. I can promise you that.